10 years. 10 years of Marvel films, and we are finally here at Infinity War. Now, to all these other studios trying to create cinematic universes and failing miserably, DC, Sony, Universal, with, your one movie that you completely failed at, so now your Dark Universe is dead. To all you people, how much do you really want to create a cinematic universe? Because I'm pretty sure Marvel has set the fucking bar. Avengers Infinity War is the 10-year culmination of the MCU. It has finally come down to this. The Avengers are finally going up against Thanos, the Mad Titan, who is looking to put all 6 Infinity Stones within the Infinity Gauntlet to reshape the universe the way he feels is best. After 10 years of movies leading up to this, you could argue it's actually 6, because we didn't even know Infinity War was even possible until the end credits of the first Avengers. So yeah, there's so much hype surrounding this film, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you are a fan, if you are a Marvel fan, you are going to adore this film. If you have been with the MCU up until now, you are going to love this film. If you are just an everyday moviegoer, probably going to be 50-50. And the reason for that is not because it isn't exciting, not because it doesn't have great characters, not because it doesn't have a great villain or character development. The issue is the way it's structured. The problem is there's so many characters this movie juggles. But for me, the reason it actually works and the reason that this movie is so great is that all of these characters, while they're all doing separate things, they all are working towards the exact same goal. Every single turn in this movie is meant to try and stop Thanos from getting the Infinity Stones. And to be honest, it's so good to see all these characters together. To see Iron Man interact with Star-Lord and Doctor Strange. To see Thor interact with Rocket Raccoon. To see more of the relationship between Thanos and Gamora. And Thanos has got to be the best villain the MCU has ever had. You get this guy's motivation. This guy's like Magneto, in the sense that he feels like he's the hero of his own story. He feels like what he's doing justifies everything. Like what he's doing is the right thing for the universe. And he makes some great points in the movie as to why he feels this way and why he thinks that this is the best thing that could possibly happen. I'm not going to spoil here what that motivation is, because it's actually kind of interesting and I don't want to spoil it. But, yeah, they did a fantastic job with Thanos. So kudos to the MCU for finally, raising the bar on the villains. Black Panther had a great villain in Killmonger for almost the exact same reason, because, you could understand what he was doing and almost get behind him, because technically he's not wrong. And in many respects, yeah, Thanos is kind of right with his motivations. You understand everything that he's going through, you get why he would be making these sacrifices, and you see the toll it takes on him. There are some actual emotional scenes with Thanos that I was not expecting. I'm just expecting Thanos to just be a guy to come down and fuck shit up. But no, they really set the bar with this villain and did such a wonderful job. And even with all the buildup with him, I really wasn't expecting them to do such a good job with him. But every other actor, every other character in this movie has a part to play. Every character does service the story in some respect. One of my biggest issues with Captain America Civil War, especially after watching it again before going to see this film, one of my biggest issues with it was that, yeah, I understand the social commentaries of it, but the whole lead up and the whole build up to it didn't make any sense. The ending didn't make any sense. Why didn't he just send an MPEG? You could have spared us 2 hours. That's all he had to do. Just send Tony Stark a video. That's literally all he had to do. But I'm sorry, I'm getting off track here. But with Infinity War, you really don't have that. Whereas in Civil War, it kind of felt like the Russo brothers were struggling to juggle some of these characters. In Infinity War, it never really does feel that way, outside of one particular moment in the film that it's not that it wasn't important, it just could have been cut down. That is literally my only issue with the film. And also, if you are a Marvel fan, again, not spoiling anything, there's a particular moment in this movie, or several moments in this movie, actually, that are probably going to traumatize you. Like, I walked out of the movie not really knowing how to feel or how to rate it, or really what to think, because, like, I loved everything I'd seen on screen, but there were so many moments that made me so emotional, and in a good way, that, honestly, I didn't know how to feel, and I don't know where it's going to go from here. I don't know what they can even do from here, but I am highly anticipating it. I am so hyped for the fourth Avengers film. In terms of the way this movie is shot, it is beautiful. This is a gorgeous looking movie from start to finish. There's never a moment where I looked at the CG and went, that could have been better, because I did that a couple times in Black Panther. In this, no. Everything is on point. The Russo brothers went for broke, and let me tell you something, this movie has balls. And it does something in the third act you're never gonna see coming, and you're just not gonna expect. And what works so well about this movie is that I never knew where it was gonna go. I didn't expect a lot of the emotional moments. I didn't expect a lot of the team-ups we had. And I certainly would have never guessed how everything was gonna come together in the end. Never would have guessed that. But it all works beautifully. The score is damn near perfect. The action is honestly the best I've ever seen in the MCU. The MCU has just gone for broke this time. The Russo brothers did a wonderful job, and, like, honestly, I want to see more from these guys. I want to see more action films from these guys outside of the MCU, because they're really talented. Okay, again, I have my issues with Civil War. I don't hate it, but I have my issues with it. That being said, the best things in Civil War was the action scenes. The airport scene makes the whole movie, in my opinion. But Infinity War surprisingly works so well. And I say surprisingly because I had my doubts that they could actually juggle all of these characters, but surprisingly, it all worked beautifully. I am so happy. I loved Infinity War. I'm giving Infinity War an A. Oh, and also look out for the return of a certain character. You'll know them when you see them.